Every year, my birthday arrived quietly, like an afterthought my family didn't bother to remember. I learned that lesson early. On my 18th birthday, I sat at the dinner table and casually asked, "So, what's for dessert tonight?" My mom looked genuinely confused. "Dessert? It's just Tuesday. Why would we have dessert?" I reminded her, softly, that it was my birthday. My dad laughed, waved his hand, and said, "Oh, right, your birthday. We forgot." They said it the same way someone might apologize for forgetting to buy milk. Minor, unimportant, easily dismissed. 2 weeks earlier, they had spent thousands of dollars on my brother's birthday. A rented venue, catered food, professional decorations, a custom cake, guests everywhere. But for me, there was nothing. That moment didn't break me, it defined me. I'm Grace. I'm 24 years old. I work in social services, and I'm the middle child who learned very young that wanting to be seen was considered asking for too much. Growing up, the pattern was painfully consistent. My brother's birthdays were events. Mine were inconveniences. If I was remembered at all, it was with a last-minute grocery store cupcake or a rushed "we'll celebrate later." And later never came. When I asked, very carefully, why the difference existed, I was told I was more mature, low maintenance, and not the type to make a fuss. Those words followed me for years, reshaping my expectations until I stopped expecting anything at all. The truth was, I wasn't low maintenance. I was just neglected, and my family preferred it that way. By the time my 24th birthday approached, I already felt the familiar dread. 2 weeks before my birthday, my brother turned 26. My mom spent nearly a month planning his surprise party. She booked a pavilion, hired a DJ, coordinated catering, ordered custom decorations, and invited dozens of people. When she showed me the photos afterward, she was glowing. "Isn't this amazing?" she said. "Look how happy he is." I smiled back because that's what I had been trained to do. As my own birthday got closer, I tried dropping hints. "My birthday's next week," I said one evening. "Maybe we could do something together this year." The responses were vague and dismissive. "We'll see. Things are busy right now. Maybe something simple." I overheard my mom on the phone the night before my birthday telling my aunt, "Grace isn't really a birthday person anyway. She's more practical. She doesn't need all that attention." When I brought up how forgotten I felt the next morning, my dad looked at me with disappointment instead of concern. "You're not one of those people who needs validation from birthday parties, are you?" he asked. "That's not like you." Somehow, my hurt was framed as a character flaw. Later that day, while scrolling on my phone, I accidentally saw a preview of a family group chat I wasn't part of. The message read, "We should keep Grace's expectations low so she doesn't become entitled." My stomach dropped. This wasn't forgetfulness, it was strategy. They weren't overlooking me, they were actively managing my disappointment. At my brother's recent party, extended family had asked me when my birthday celebration would be. Each question was met with awkward pauses and quick subject changes. Everyone could see the imbalance, but no one named it. I learned then that silence can be just as complicit as cruelty. My actual birthday came and went without acknowledgement. No text, no call, no happy birthday at breakfast or dinner. At 8 p.m., my mom walked in with a single cupcake from the grocery store and set it on the counter. "Just in case you wanted something sweet," she said. One cupcake. That was it. The humiliation deepened at the next family gathering when birthdays came up in conversation. My mom smiled and announced to the room, "Grace doesn't really do birthdays. She's too mature for all that fuss." She said it like it was my choice, like I had opted out of being celebrated. A few months later, my mom called me with excitement in her voice. She needed my help planning my brother's graduation party. "You're so organized," she said. "We really want this one to be special." I asked quietly, "What about my birthday next month?" There was a pause. Then, "Oh, honey, we can't do something big every few months, maybe dinner or something simple." Simple for me, spectacular for him. When I mentioned feeling left out to my brother, he shrugged. "Not everyone needs a big party, Grace. Some people are just low-key," as if neglect was a personality trait. That night, I overheard my parents in the kitchen. "At least Grace is easy," my dad said. "We never have to worry about disappointing her." They had trained me not to expect anything and then congratulated themselves for it. What they didn't know was that I had stopped waiting. For months, I had been saving money from every paycheck. During lunch breaks, I made quiet phone calls to venues and event coordinators. I documented years of forgotten birthdays, photos of empty tables, journal entries of silent days, memories I had swallowed. My friend Emma helped me plan everything in secret. My family assumed I'd accept another forgotten birthday. Instead, I was preparing my exit from that narrative. They planned a vacation during my 25th birthday week without asking me. "We'll celebrate when we get back," my mom said casually. "It's not like you'll mind waiting." I overheard another conversation where they said, "Grace never complains about birthdays, so we don't need to worry." That's when I sent out the invitations. The day they returned from their trip, they walked into a scene they couldn't ignore. Cars lined the street, music played from the banquet hall next door. 75 people were gathered to celebrate my birthday. There was catered food, decorations, a DJ, laughter. I stood in the center of it all, wearing a dress I chose for myself, surrounded by people who showed up. My mom's face went pale. "Grace, what is this?" she asked. "It's my birthday party," I said calmly. "The one you forgot, again." My dad was furious. "You can't just throw yourself a party," he said. I looked at him and replied, "Why not? You never threw me one." He muttered something about embarrassment. I told him the truth. 24 forgotten birthdays were embarrassing. This is me choosing myself. I showed them the timeline on my phone, my brother's extravagant parties next to my silent birthdays. Guests began to notice. Some relatives admitted they'd always seen the favoritism, but didn't know how to address it. Friends congratulated me for finally celebrating myself. My brother apologized. For the first time, he admitted he knew it was unfair and benefited from it anyway. That honesty mattered more than excuses. That night, I didn't need my parents' approval. Their discomfort no longer defined me. I realized I had spent my life waiting for recognition from people who had already shown me who they were. The best gift I gave myself wasn't the party, it was the boundary. I stopped asking to be remembered. I started remembering myself. If you've ever been the forgotten one, know this: your milestones matter, your joy matters, and sometimes the most powerful celebration is the one you give yourself.